If you're a heat and air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, what's one thought process that can really cause you a lot of problems and really stop your sales process? And why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell, coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and business and a fantastic day to talk about you. I'm coming to you live from Sacramento. So here's the thing. I get the chance to work with technicians, salespeople, managers, entrepreneurs, groups of people across the board, and I see a common trend that can cause you problems just like it could cause anybody else. And some of this comes down to belief. So one, I want to let you know, I'm not knocking your beliefs. But two, I see a common danger. I'm going to let you know what it is. You can decide what to do with it. So at some point, there's going to be something that happens inside of the business. There's going to be something that happens in your personal life. And you're going to look around and you're going to say, for whatever reason, in whatever way that you say it, it's not fair. It's not fair. Okay? And so what happens is you put on the it's not fair goggles. Got the it's not fair goggles, right? You got the it's not fair goggles. So everything that you look at has like something is coming after you or something's coming against you. And sales is a form of entrepreneurism. And when you're an entrepreneur, one of the things is like you look and you're like, okay, there's somebody over here lobbing rocks at me, and there's somebody over here trying to hit me with whatever they got. I've got to zigzag my way around it and find a way through it. And so, yes, there are points of life, 100% that are fair, but like the focus has got to be like on the end zone. The focus has got to be at the end of the accomplishment, the outcome. Like we could talk about all the stuff that happened at the end when I am telling you the story or when you're telling the story. But here's the thing, if you get caught up in fair and unfair, it'll ruin you. You'll always be at a disadvantage. And so there are bad things that happen in life. I am not saying there's not. But there's like the, hey, I have an excuse why this didn't work. The excuse is it's not fair. And, you know, when you're young and you first get started in the business world, people are like, okay, well, let me pull you aside. It's kind of like a dad to a kid or a mom to a kid. Let me pull you aside and have the conversation. Like, look, life isn't fair. Okay. But like when you're dealing with a full-on grown adult and they're in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and they're always caught up in it's not fair, is one of those things where it's like did somebody not pull you aside 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago and say, hey, look, there's only so much that we can do. We can't make everything fair. It's not possible. And then, you know, they look around, they're like, well, you know, it's not fair. So you have to know that this mindset will cost you a ton of money. And this right here is why you should join my email publication. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not YouTube channel. Now, I'm not talking about like egregious things that happen against you, right? When things go sideways and you're like, oh, you know what? I had a bad break. Okay, I had a bad break. Things sucked. I got to get through it. Get your therapy, get whatever you need to do to get past that so that you can say, hey, look, I hit a road bump and here's my story. One of the coolest things that I get to do is I get to listen to entrepreneurs who've made it big talk about like the road bumps that they hit, the car collisions that they got into, the absolute danger that they were in. But what they don't normally do is like, hey, it wasn't fair. And if they did, it's like, hey, it wasn't fair, but I moved on and I found a way through it. I'm going to ask you to adopt a belief. Yes, there is a lot of stuff in this world that happens, but if you go down the path of getting caught up in it, it will stop you from closing deals super fast, super fast. And then you always have an excuse why the sale didn't happen, why the deal didn't go through. It gives you like the glasses, the goggles, the it's not fair goggles to have this conversation about everything. It becomes a poison. And you may have somebody pull you aside and go, hey, look, dude, hey, look, chick, hey, person, I got to tell you, in business life isn't fair. There's going to be times where you go after a deal, you should have had it, should have closed, somebody came in behind you, pulls it off the table. Like these are things that you chalk up and go, I'm not going to let that happen again. I got to figure a way out to make sure that that doesn't happen, right? I'm going to challenge you to start counting how many times you say something's not fair. And like, I'm going to give you a bonus. Like, it's not my fault. Like these two things go hand in hand. It's not fair and it's not my fault. If you say that like more than once a month, something's going on, right? Something like talk to a good coach, talk to a good mentor, talk to a trainer and say, hey, like I feel like I'm stuck in a loop. And a loop is when you can't let something go. A loop is when you're like, hey, I keep talking about this thing. Hi, my name's Scott. There's been plenty of times where I've been stuck in a loop in my life and I had a good friend, good coach, or a good mentor pull me aside and go, hey, Scott, dude, we get it. It happened. You're stuck in a loop. Do you know that you're stuck in a loop? No, you don't. You've been told. Official notice. You're stuck in a loop. Knock it off. They're like, oh, okay, I get it. Does it hurt? Absolutely, right? I'm not saying that there's no emotional response. I'm just saying if you want to move faster, you want to move quicker, this is one of the things that you got to get over and just go, I'm going to chalk it up to business. It sucks. It's not anything that I want to live through. Just embrace it and move through it. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here. Just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, you know what you got to do. Share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.